Hello. This is the World English Institute Elementary Course Grammar Lesson number 5. Sin. Here are the vocabulary words. Snake. S-N-A-K-E. Snake. A snake is a long, slender reptile with no legs. Terrible. T-E-R-R-I-B-L-E. Terrible. Terrible is very bad. Power. P-O-W-E-R. Power. To have power is to have strength. Enemy. E-N-E-M-Y. Enemy. Your enemy intends to do you harm. Disobey. D-I-S-O-B-E-Y. Disobey. When one disobeys, one does not obey a command. Sin. S-I-N. Sin. To sin is to miss the mark. Language. L-A-N-G-U-A-G-E. Language. Language is combining words to convey a thought. Here is the grammar lesson. All nouns have properties such as gender, person, number, and case. In this lesson, we will look at number. Number tells us how many. Singular number names one person, place, or thing. Plural number names more than one person, place, or thing. This concludes elementary grammar lesson number 5, Sin. Sin. One day a terrible thing happened. A snake came to Eve and spoke to her in a language she could understand. The snake had no special power of its own. Satan, the devil, was actually speaking through the snake. Satan is the enemy of God and wanted to make trouble between God and Adam and Eve. Satan lied to Eve and told her it would be good to eat from the tree of good and bad. He told Eve that if she ate from that tree, she would become like God. Satan is a big liar. God had already told Adam and Eve not to eat from that tree or they would die. Eve believed Satan's lie. She saw that the tree was beautiful and the fruit looked good. She took it and ate it. She even gave some to Adam, and he ate it too. Immediately, Adam and Eve changed, and they were afraid and ashamed. They did something very bad. They disobeyed God. This is called sin. They gathered some leaves from the trees and made clothes to wear. They heard God coming, so they ran and tried to hide from God. God is everywhere all the time, so it's hard to hide from God. He found them and asked them to tell him what they had done. Adam told God that Eve made him do this bad thing. That wasn't true because Adam didn't have to eat that fruit. Eve told God that Satan made her do this bad thing. That wasn't true either because Eve didn't have to eat that fruit. Sin was happening everywhere. Grammar lesson number 6. Consequence. Here are the vocabulary words. Punish. P-U-N-I-S-H. Punish. To punish is to discipline. Stomach. S-T-O-M-A-C-H. Stomach. The stomach is the belly of an animal. Crush. C-R-U-S-H. Crush. To crush is to break into small pieces. Defeat. D-E-F-E-A-T. Defeat. To defeat someone is to win a victory over them. Sweat. S-W-E-A-T. Sweat. Sweat is perspiration. Here is the grammar lesson. Pronouns. Pronouns take the place of nouns. We use pronouns rather than repeating nouns again and again. In this lesson, we will learn about one type of pronoun, the personal pronoun. A personal pronoun shows the person of the noun it replaces. There can be singular personal pronouns such as I, me, or mine, and there can be plural personal pronouns such as we, our, and us. Number 6. Consequence. God punished Eve, and he punished Adam for eating that fruit and disobeying him. God also put a curse on Satan for starting this whole mess. Satan lied to Eve through the snake, so God made the snake crawl on its stomach all the days of its life. He also told Satan that the woman would be his enemy. He told Satan that her children and his children would be enemies. He also told Satan that a child from the woman would crush his head and defeat him. God told the woman that having children was going to hurt very badly. God created the woman to have babies, so having children is very important to her. This was a big punishment for the sin. God also told the woman that the man would rule over her. The woman could not have a baby without a man. God told the man that the ground would be cursed. He told the man that he would have to work very hard to grow food from the ground. God said that thorns would grow from the ground. This would hurt his hands. God told the man that he will work so hard that sweat will pour out of his head. Work is important to the man. Taking care of his family is very important to him. So this was a big punishment for the sin. God told the man and woman that sin is so bad that you will now die and become dirt again. Death came into the world because of sin. God told Adam and Eve to leave the beautiful Garden of Eden. They were very sad.
Ashamed.
Ashamed.
Immediately Adam and Eve changed, and they were afraid and ashamed.
Immediately Adam and Eve changed, and they were afraid and ashamed.
Gathered. Gathered.
Gather. Gather.
They gathered some leaves from the trees and made clothes to wear.
They gathered some leaves from the trees and made clothes to wear.
Combining. Combining.
Combining. Combining.
Language is the combination of words.
Language is a combination of words.
reptile, reptile,
reptile, reptile.
reptile. Snake is a kind of reptile.
Snake is a kind of reptile. Snake is a kind of reptile.
Snake is a kind of reptile. Enemy, enemy,
Enemy,
enemy.
enemy.
Satan is the enemy of God and wanted to make trouble between God and Adam and Eve.
Satan is the enemy of God and wanted to make trouble between God and Adam and Eve.
Intense,
Intense,
intense.
intense.
He intends you no harm.
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 Consequence,
Consequence,
consequence.
consequence.
You must responsible for the consequence of your action.
You must be responsible for the consequence of your action.
Punish,
Punish,
punish.
punish.
God punished Eve and he punished Adam for eating that fruit and disobeying him.
God punished Eve and he punished Adam for eating that fruit and disobeying him.
Discipline, discipline.
Discipline, discipline.
I already made a breach of discipline at the school yesterday.
I already made a breach of discipline at the school yesterday.
Belly, belly.
Belly, belly. B-E-L-L-Y, belly. Example, she felt the child in her belly kick. She felt the child in her belly kick.
Sweat, sweat,
Sweat,
sweat,
sweat,
sweat.
sweat.
God told the man that he will work so hard that sweat will pour out of his head.
God told the man that he will work so hard that sweat will pour out of his head.
Perspiration, perspiration.
Perspiration, perspiration.
Because work hard, so drops of perspiration rolling down my forehead.
Because work hardly, so drops of perspiration rolling down on my forehead. Because work hardly, so drops of perspiration rolling down my forehead.